belt versus Jiri Prochazka. Glover Teixeira is 42 years old, and Jiri is 29. That's a big age difference. Glover had that career resurgence. He's looked great in his last few fights. He took the belt off of Jan Blachowicz last year. The bookies have Jiri about a 2-1 favorite, minus 200, about 66-67% implied. It's a really straightforward fight, in my opinion. If this fight stays on the feet, Jiri probably knocks him out. If Glover can get the grappling going, Glover probably submits him. From a money line perspective, I do favor Jiri outright. It's hard to ignore his physical advantages here. He's so much younger. He has so much more power. He's just a freak, for lack of a better term. And Glover, on the other hand, he is getting up there in age, and I know he has won some fights lately, and he has looked good doing it. I can't shake the feeling that Jiri probably knocks him out. Excuse me. But I want no business laying minus 200 on Jiri here. I mean, he has shown flaws in his grappling before. Dominic Reyes took him down, and it's not like Dominic Reyes is known for his grappling. A couple technical things I noticed on tape. Jiri kind of just tries to explode out of bottom rather than use technique to get back up. So from a money line perspective, if you put a gun to my head, I'd probably bet Glover. I'd probably wait. I think people are going to keep betting Jiri. But I'm not really interested in a side here. I think the line is more or less about right. I'd probably cap Jiri at about 65%. From a total perspective, I actually like the alternate total of 2.5 rounds. So just to back up, a lot of books have the 1.5 rounds, meaning 7.5 minutes into the fight. Close to even money, shaded towards the over. I lean under there, but even more so, I like the alternate totals, that the books that have 2.5 rounds at minus 170, minus 170, minus 180. I've seen a lot of that, and I think that should be closer to minus 250. I really think this fight's pretty binary, pretty straightforward. I think whoever wins this fight likely finishes early. I think Jiri probably wins by knockout in the first or second round if he does win. If not, I think Glover gets him down and submits him. So I do like that under 2.5 if you could get an alternate total. That's probably the best way to play the fight. Because, I mean, it's interesting. Yeah, he's 28-3 as a pro. So he's had 32 professional fights, 28-3-1. He's had 32 professional fights. Glover has had 40 professional fights. So we have a good sample size on these guys. It's just Jiri's only had 2 fights in the UFC, and they've both been against Dominic Reyes and Volkan Ozdemir. Neither one of those have a very similar style to Glover, so that's where the question marks come from. And it's hard because Glover's fought a bunch of different people, but Jiri's kind of a freak, like I said. So it's hard to kind of visualize how these guys stack up against each other without seeing them physically in the cage. And again, I mean, it's been another year since Glover's fought. Not a full year, but every year he's not getting any younger. He's only getting older. So how do you cap where his peak falls off in terms of his prime? And it's weird talking about a fighter who literally is the current champion about whether he's in his prime or not, because it's a very unique situation. But yeah, I say all this to say I think Jiri's going to win. I hope Glover wins just because it'd be a good story, obviously, and I know some sharp people that are betting him, so I'll be rooting for them, but I'll be rooting for my under 2.5 over any of that. I think that should be closer to minus 250. From a betting perspective, I think that's the best way to approach it. So under 2.5 is the play. Jiri is the pick. So that's what I've got. I have a few other spots on this card that I'm way more confident in from a money line perspective. This fight is not much of interest to me from a money line perspective. So again, I put these videos out every week. I don't want to force any plays on the main event from a money line perspective. So sometimes I have plays on the money line, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I have a play on a total like this, but I like getting these out to you guys early in the week. Hopefully it gives some people who aren't subscribed to the Patreon or don't watch the podcast an opportunity to get a little bit of insight into what I'm thinking and hopefully help you win some money. But thanks for listening. As always, looking forward to the card this weekend. Should be a great one. I'll be on Magic and I will be doing our podcast Wednesday this week. That's Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern time. I'll be on Early Edge Saturday morning. So thanks again for watching. I appreciate it if you like and subscribe to this video and enjoy the fights this weekend. Thanks.